Hello.
Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Saturday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast coming to you live from Amalie Arena in Thunder Alley. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Pucks and Pitchforks blog editor-in-chief Nick Villano, streaming in from Chicago. We got Vinny Parisi streaming live on Facebook Live, Twitter Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. On the Primetime Radio Network, Devils take on the Tampa Bay Lightning at 4 p.m. Eastern start. Big game, guys. Later, coming up in about 15 minutes, Ken Daneyko, three-time Stanley Cup champion, will be here shortly. Yeah. Guys, We finally made it after 19 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's sorry, Vinny. See, this is what you get for not being live in Tampa, Vinny, is I'm going to cut you off a lot. I'm sorry. But I know this is exciting. This is the first time that I've been live next to somebody in the studio. Well, we're not in the studio. This is our studio today. It's beautiful Tampa. It's not raining on me. I love everything. I got fans here, which I'm not used to because my Twitter account is a cesspool. But, man, I love this. This is amazing. Vinny, how are you feeling down in Chicago?
Good. It's cold. You guys look like you're having a good old time in the nice weather. And I'm over here freezing, but I'm excited to be a part of this. This is awesome. It looks great over there. You guys are looking awesome. I hope that Sam's shirt didn't start too much of a fight between you two. So, it's good. I'm excited for a big game today.
Sometimes it's always been called Taylor Ham. You know that. Let's go to other camera angles here. We're here at Thunder Alley.
Woo!
We
Look
got
at them,
that
walkers.
angle, and let's.
Got a couple of Devils fans over there. Hey, cheer for us, guys. Woo, yeah. See, again, I got a cheering section. I'm not used to this, Sam. I don't like you.
Then, it's starting to fill up here. It's starting to fill up,
Yeah,
guys.
no, it's exciting. And Sam, you know what? The reason why it's exciting is because this team isn't terrible anymore. I know that Thursday didn't go so well. I know that the Florida Panthers game, they got us back for getting them on one the week before. Great, whatever. We dominated the first period. We came out flat in the second period, and then we never got back onto it. It happens. They got to erase it tonight, though. Tonight is the night to, you're facing this defending two-time Stanley Cup champs. You've been competitive with the Lightning before. A lot of these people that we've talked to, these Lightning fans, they're coming in a little overconfident, if you know what I mean.
Little overconfident.
And, it's fine. You get to have confidence when you win back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. But the New Jersey Devils are coming in here with something to prove. They have to prove that they're not this crap team that they played like on Thursday. So they really need to come in here. They need a spark. They shouldn't play like they played in the first period yesterday because clearly that caused them to come out flat when it didn't go right. Just play consistently. Don't come out and throw all of your bullets out at once. Come out and throw out what you can throw out and temper it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about what's going to happen on this. I'm excited I haven't been to a live hockey game, Sam. Do you know the last live hockey game I've been to? This is how long it's been. The last live hockey game I've been to, Miles Wood punched a guy so hard in the face that his mask exploded.
Wow.
I forget the guy, but his mask exploded. He got suspended for 2 games because he was bad that game. But he scored 2 goals. The Devils beat the Lightning. It was an awesome game. I think it was January 2018. But it's been a long time. I'm trying to think back of, I haven't been to Jersey because of, what we've been dealing with.
Yeah.
But I will be in Jersey December 16th. I think we're going to that Knights game.
Oh, okay.
We're going to that Knights game, and I'll be there for a pregame at whatever bar you decide to do it on that night, if you're there.
Taj Lounge 973
Taj Lounge
in Newark. That is our go-to bar where you eat the catfish and the Devils win.
Yeah, I'll eat 3 catfish, Sam. I will have 3 servings of catfish, a side of fries. I'll put some vinegar on them fries, Nathan style. I'm ready to go.
Awesome.
But, Vinny, I got to ask. So we got you here from Chicago. What were your thoughts on that Thursday game? What were your thoughts on the Florida game?
Yeah, so things went well in the first period, as you mentioned, and it kind of took the life out of them. They were so good in the first period, and they didn't go up 3-0. They didn't go up 2-0 even, and it forced them to not play very well the rest of the game. And the Florida Panthers, without their best player, came out and dominated in the second and third, and the Devils had no chance. So hopefully they learn from that, as you mentioned, and kind of figure out a way to make it a little more consistent throughout the game. So we'll see what happens. But that Thursday game, just not good at all. They need to not repeat that performance in any way.
Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you, Andrew. Here's the thing, Vinny, is we seen this before. This had, and it didn't get brought up a lot, and I'm surprised, but this had an eerie feeling of that opening night game against the Winnipeg Jets where they let a goal at the very end of a period really kind of throw them for a loop. And you can't do that in today's day and age. You got to bounce back, especially when you dominate a period like they did in the first period on Thursday night. You can't just let one silly goal just throw them for a loop like it did. So when you come out, when you play Tampa tonight, I want them to start fast, but I don't want them – clearly they had no energy left. Or I don't want it to get to a point where if one thing goes wrong, like a goal against when you dominate the period, you just let it fester like that. And that's the thing is that – and Vinny, I'm very curious about your opinion on this. What do you – I want my captain to come out there and do something. I want Nico Hischier to come out there and knock somebody out, score a goal, get a crazy play. I want him to take the bull by the horns, and I want him to do something. And I know a lot of people have been unfairly critical of Nico Hischier this year, but Thursday night was the night I needed my captain come out. No Jack Hughes in the lineup. The team was probably in the locker room a little ho-hum. I needed him to make a move. What are your thoughts on Nico Hischier, Vinny?
Yeah, so we know he has all the skill in the world. We know he could do a lot of different things that help the Devils win games, but it just wasn't there on Thursday. And I agree with you. You get that C put on your sweater, and I want to see you be the leader. You need to come out there and, like you said, either score a big goal. He set up the tying goal against the Rangers using his body for Pavel Zacha. That was, right place, right time, good play by him. You need more of that. You need that every single game. You need that energy. You look at some of the best captains across the league, and they always seem to – they might not always be the best player on their team, but they're the most important player on their team, and they come up in the big moments, and I'm with you. They need more of that from Nico. The points will be there. He'll score goals. He'll look good while he's playing defense. There will be all sorts of great things that come of Nico Hischier, but when push comes to shove, they need him in those big moments. Stand up for your team, Nico.
Yeah, and I don't want to be, like I said, I don't want to be too critical because people have been overly critical of him this year, and I don't think that's deserved. I think he's playing well, right? You need him to go above and beyond well when Jack Hughes is not in the lineup. If Jack Hughes is in this lineup and he could do superstar things, great. Nico Hischier, do the other things right. Do the things that I need you to do. Shut down the opposing top line. Shut down players from scoring. But when I don't have Jack Hughes in the lineup, I need Nico Hischier to come in and be that scoring forward. Be that skilled guy that he was in the Swiss leagues. Be that guy that we've seen him be when he's next to Taylor Hall. Be a 20-goal scorer. So those are the things that I need from Nico Hischier. And tonight, it's going to be more of the same. They might come out tonight, and they might really dominate, that 5-on-5 play, and they might really dominate at even strength, and then they have to figure it out on the power play, which they haven't done so far. They need to figure it out on the penalty, which they have done so far. But they really need to come out. They need to make a statement at 5-on-5, and they really need to make sure that finishing has been a big problem this year. When you get the opportunities, put them in the net. So I think it starts with Nico Hischier, and I think that, I think he's the catalyst here to make sure that this team comes out of here with 2 points.
Hey, guys, I'm going to get Kenny.
Go get Kenny.
I
thought
Kenny.
You were getting Kenny this whole time.
No, I just put up the monitor for Kenny.
Okay.
All right.
He's coming. He's right there. Oh, there he is. He came to us.
Ken Daneyko in the building.
Well, I mean, we're outside, Vinny, but that's fine. We got Mr. Devil here, Ken Daneyko. Ken, how you doing today? How you doing? Ken, we are already live. We jumped the gun. So Sam, set our man up. This is a 3-time Stanley Cup champion. You gotta let him know where he has to go. Ken, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, guys. What's going on? I love the contingency of Devils fans out there. I took a massive pick. Vic's the Mr. Selfie guy. He can even do it with 100 fans. But great to see the support out here in
Vic
Tampa
loves some
Bay.
pictures. He loves some pictures.
Oh, yeah, and I hope they bring us some luck, all you fans. So it's great. Love the support. It's awesome to see a sea of red down here in Tampa supporting the guys.
So, Ken, we were talking about Thursday night and kind of what happened there. They dominated the first period, but they go into the locker room tied, and they come out flat. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I said it reminded me weirdly of that Winnipeg Jets game at the beginning of the 2019-20 season, but they had a lead then.
I think it was a lot different than that.
Okay,
from my perspective.
What was I mean, you were watching it. You've known what that situation
that's
is.
hockey. The complexion of a game can change in a split second. When they got the late goal with 6 seconds left, we probably should have been up in the first period. That was probably the best period I've seen our guys play this year. Should have been up 3 or 4-0. You don't capitalize on your chances. You run into a hot goaltender. Knight played well. Florida's one of the elite teams in the league. And they hang around. They get that late goal, and then they have their surge. That gave them the momentum. But that's part of a young team learning along the way that you knew Florida was going to come with a push, and the Devils, the young guys, they couldn't sustain it first 5-7 minutes. I think for the most part, I'd take a lot of that game, and if they play this way in Tampa Bay, they're going to have an opportunity. But it's all about finish, and that's just being a little hungry around the net. You fire 46 shots at the goaltender. A lot of nights you're going to win. I know they have to be quality. There was a lot of quality shots, but maybe the second and third opportunities is where they got to get a little more gritty around the opposition's net. But they were flying. They were skating, and again, another little learning curve for a young team against a really good team. Arguably top team in the National Hockey League right now, the Florida Panthers. They're good, and they don't need as many opportunities. They're able to score a few goals, and even though we pushed and kept coming, I didn't think the second was. I thought after the first 7-8 minutes, then we got going again in the second. Just couldn't find a way to put it in the back of the net. Hopefully, we find a way tonight. But they got a good goaltender too.
yeah. No,
probably the best in the league.
Probably the best in the league. So we were kind of talking about. I've seen some fans who are very critical of the captain, Nico Hischier. I think a lot of it is frustration with everybody and just throwing it on the captain. But I also, at the same time, would like him to kind of make a little bit of a statement now that Hughes isn't in the lineup. We're now used to not having Hughes in the lineup. When we get in those situations where maybe they're down 3-1 or maybe they're facing the two-time Stanley Cup champs, this is a different kind of team because the leadership, a lot of it's new. Dougie Hamilton, Tatar, and then Nico Hischier's the captain at, I believe he's 22 years old. What are your expectations when you're in a situation like this? We're a couple weeks away from Jack Hughes, but it's now I feel like it's closer than it was when it first happened. So what are your expectations of the captain here? Somebody who's as skilled as Hischier.
First off, it obviously hurt when Jack went down. I mean, really looked like he was going to take that next step. He was a dominant force for the 4 periods that he did play. The puck was on his stick an awful lot, but every team's going through injuries. That's part of it. It hurt a little more with a young team that really relied on Jack Hughes to create offense, to create offensive opportunities. He makes players around him better, so that hurt. Having Miles Wood injured all year also hurts. I mean, he brings an element that, not many teams have with that speed and kind of Tasmanian Devil style, and he's found some finish last year as well. Was our tied for the team lead in goals, and you need those goals. It is what it is. Now other guys have to step up. Some guys have produced, some haven't. It's still early in the year. You have to find your way. Nico, look, he hasn't played a lot of hockey. He's such a complete player, and he is going to be a great leader. You grow into that role, but he comes to play the game, prepares himself. It's just getting reps, getting rhythm, finding a little more offense. Yeah, we need him to supply more offense. It was coming for a couple of games and then dried up maybe a little bit from an offense standpoint. But what's special about Nico to me, he does things that help your team win regardless of getting on the score sheet. Yes, does he have to get on the score sheet a little more often? Of course, but you got to give him time. I mean, last year was basically a write-off for him because, and I don't care who you are, because he didn't play much hockey with the leg injury, then COVID, and he was, just couldn't. It's hard to find your rhythm, find timing, everything else. So I'm hoping he gets it sooner than later, but there's been some games this year where he hasn't been on the score sheet, but he's made a huge defensive play. Those things add up. Those things matter, where he's helping the defense, where he's in the right spot. He blocked a shot, I remember, earlier in the other in a tight game where he's just in the right position. So he does a lot of good things. That's why he's their leader, but he wants to bring more offense. I mean, let's face it. He knows that, and hopefully it comes soon.
Yeah, I talked about this a little bit, that all of the other stats are top 3 on the team. He's doing great with possession. He's doing great at passing. He's doing great at faceoffs. Everything else he's right up there. So you're right. He does all of the other things
And that's
great
what
as
makes
possible.
him a leader and a captain is preparation, that he is a 200-foot player. But yes, does he need to provide a little more offense? Does he want to? Of course he does. And I think it will come sooner than later. He, like I said, he just needs more games and more time and to get a little bit of a rhythm, a little bit of a roll.
So we got Vinny in Chicago. Vinny, you got a question for Ken, right?
Yeah, Ken, first, thank you so much for joining us. This is a pleasure to have you on our show. I'm truly grateful for it. They played a pretty tough game against the Florida Panthers a couple nights ago, obviously. And in order to kind of bounce back, they're playing against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are the two-time defending Stanley Cup champions. What, in your mind, do they need to do to reverse that from happening again against a team that's just as good as the Panthers?
Yeah, it's a gauntlet coming down to Florida now as far as these few teams. I love it because it's nice weather and it's a lot of fun. But the bottom line is you want to find a way to get a few points down in Florida. And they did play a strong game against the Panthers, against elite teams, top teams, and like the Lightning, the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. You can't have 5-minute pockets where you fall asleep or or and I'm not saying that's what they did. You give credit to the other team because they're that good for a reason.
And Spencer Knight was phenomenal.
It's just managing the puck, managing situations a little bit better when you know teams like Florida, teams like Tampa Bay are going to have that push. And Florida had that push. We couldn't sustain it. And whether it's getting 2-3 big saves, whether it's a combination of all of it. It starts from goaltending out, starts from the defense and everybody involved. That, okay, guys, we know it's coming. That's experience. We know Florida's making their push, so they're going to have the momentum. Now, how do we take the middle of the ice away? Do we, defend well for that period of time? Because sometimes you're not going to have the puck against great teams like Florida and Tampa. And today, I would say, or tonight, whenever we get going at 4 o'clock here, you want to have the same start. You want to have more finish. And for me, it's just there's no magic wand of how to put the puck in the net. And it's just getting down and dirty around the net and trying to get those second and third opportunities. That's the only thing out of the 46 shots. I don't think we had a lot of rebounds. And give Spencer Knight credit, but you create that. You get in front of him. You take the sight lines away. You just get around that net, get in the blue paint, and just make it difficult so that their defensemen have to engage with you and throw the goaltender off his concentration. Going to have to do it against Vasilevsky because, like we had just mentioned, for me, for sure, too, he's the best goalie in the National Hockey League. Doesn't mean you can't beat him. Doesn't mean you can't penetrate him. But come out strong again. That's what you want. It'd be nice to get a lead, but if we get opportunities like we did against Florida, we need to score a couple of times.
Yeah. So I want to.
And look, their offenses. Yeah. We know how talented they are. There's no Kucherov, just like Florida had no Barkov, but these teams have depth. They still got Point and Stamkos and Killorns, and they just got a lot of good hockey players. That when they're on the ice, be aware. And what that means is when I see top players in theirs, I know when I was a defenseman, I know the game's changed, whatever it may be, and we could play a little more physical and disrupt things without taking a penalty or getting a penalty. But it was always just that awareness. If I had a top player out there, I'm not worried about pinching at this time or making a high-risk pass through the middle. I'm worried about being between a top player and the puck, and just don't give him time to have that extra step where he's able to cut it on alone, because these guys, top players, that's why they're elite offensive players, and Tampa has plenty of them. That's why these guys don't need as many opportunities to put the puck in the back of the net.
So I want to skew positive now, and there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to love about.
I'm a glass half full guy. I mean, I love the progress our young team's making. They're an exciting bunch. You need more guys, obviously. You want Sharon Govich to get going. It hasn't materialized yet this year. Quokkanen, has chipped in a little, but these guys are capable of it. You look what the AHL affiliate Utica Comets are doing. I mean, that's a great sign. That shows the organization's getting better, and that's such a positive because there's a lot of guys down there on the cusp want their opportunity here. That's why Zetterlund's up, because he's rewarded for good play down there. These guys need to see that they're going to get the opportunity, and I love that about General Manager Tom Fitzgerald. He realizes that. He's going to find spots for these guys, and then when you get that chance, you got to run with the ball and make them not take you out of line. That makes better competition. That makes your team deeper and stronger when guys are fighting for spots and understanding that if I don't have a good game, I might not stay in the lineup. And we never had that in the past.
Yeah.
Really, from the last 3, 4, 5 years, where we had to rush guys, put them in the lineup that probably weren't ready for the National Hockey League.
Hope and
now
pray.
we get hope and pray, and that's going to happen because of injuries at times. But now we've got more depth with the youth. Yeah, they need experience in the National Hockey League to grow as a player, but we got guys that are bona fide, legit young players that I think have a National Hockey League future. Which 3, 4 years ago, the cupboard was a lot barer than it is today.
So I wanted to ask about, you know defensemen better than just about anybody, and I want to know what your thoughts are. I look at Dougie Hamilton, and I say, name a better defenseman in the league this year. He is up there with anyone. Makar, Pietrangelo, like anybody. You name anybody, and I'm saying put Dougie Hamilton up against him. He's been that good to me this year.
He's been everything as advertised. Sometimes you come to a new team, pressure of signing a big free agent contract, and it can take time to get acclimated to your team, a system, whatever it may be, and perform. But he's pretty well performed right from day one, and he's been good in his end, too. He brings the offense. We know that. I love the fact the second the puck's on his stick, he lets her go, and he catches goalies off guard. It's a heavy shot, but more importantly to me is he just doesn't let them get set. No matter how good a goalie is, you saw it the other night against Knight. Yeah, it hits his body off the post and in, but that's because he lets it go. The release is so quick. He doesn't go end-to-end. He's not that guy like a Makar with the blazing speed end-to-end, but what he does do is he times it so well to be that fourth man in the attack and create offense from that standpoint. He's got 5 goals on the year, and he continues to get better. So I've been so pleased with him. In his own zone, he's used his stick so effectively, and that 6'6" reach, where he's in the lane, and he's gone down at the right times to break up plays. He's been fantastic, and he certainly makes our defense that much better. And I think Graves has done a great job as well. So the additions that Fitzgerald was able to, when he was able to add those 2 guys, just made our defense so much better. And that's an area we need to improve so they get the puck to the young speed that we have, which was a lot more difficult to get when you don't have a lot of depth on D, to get the puck to these forwards that have speed. But I've loved Dougie. He's an elite defenseman in the game for a reason.
So before we let you go, we just got an updated lineup. It looks like Boquist is dealing with a little bit of injury, but that means that Alexander Holtz is getting back in the lineup. We've seen this work in the past. It worked with Gusev. It seemed like let him sit and watch. And I know Amanda Stein was reporting that she couldn't believe how much that Alexander Holtz was looking at when he was watching from the press box. What do you expect him, now that he's got the sit, he's got the practice with the team for a couple days, what are you expecting from Alexander Holtz now he's getting back in the lineup?
Shoot the puck when it's on his stick. That's his asset. That's his weapon. He's got a big league shot, a National Hockey League shot. Once you get that first goal, it can open up the floodgates for a young guy, but it's about development. Some guys develop a little quicker than others. He's a kid. He was doing great in Utica, comes up here, gets his feet wet, sits and watches, and that's, Amanda's right, that can be a good thing. You really take a look at, and then you watch some of the top players, whether it's on your team or the other team, and say, okay, maybe I'm not moving my feet here. I'm not getting the opening here. Where can I find that quiet ice where I'm able to receive a pass and use my weapon, and that's his shot. So I think he's going to come in, bring a lot of energy. He's got a bright future here in Jersey. No question about it, but guys, when they just come in right away, everything is not going to come easily to you. Yeah. This is the best league in the world for a reason. Some guys adapt quicker. I know Dawson Mercer has been unbelievable. He's just the guy breathes, sleeps hockey. You can tell he's a hockey player. He's smart. He's a 200-foot guy. He's elusive. He's good in tight around the net, smart defensively. So you love that, and that looks like a great pick at 18. But that doesn't always materialize as quick for other players. Look at Pavel Zacha. He's emerged after, his 4th or 5th year now as a go-to guy for this team, a clutch player scoring all these clutch goals. And I know everybody gets impatient. All of us do, including me, even though I was a player and understand it a little bit more. I heard it about Zacha forever. I was the biggest Zacha supporter. I said, just give him time. He's big, strong, can shoot the puck through the boards.
Yeah.
And a guy that is a good two-way player just hadn't come. He used to miss the net a little bit too much. He used to hesitate whether to pass or shoot or making decisions with the puck. Well, now look at him. I mean, he looks like a guy that is going to be here for a long, long time and playing the way everybody hopes he would play. I never look at where you're drafted, what you're drafted, because sometimes a third rounder pans out way better than the first round. That's the nature of the beast when kids are drafted at such a young age. But Pavel Zacha is fulfilling his potential now, and I expect Holtz to, whether it's now, whether it's a little later. We hope now, we all do. But we need some goals, so hopefully he gets one tonight. But I think he's got a bright, bright future. You can just see his hockey sense, and when he's around the net, saw it in preseason, and hopefully we see it tonight, and he buries one past Vasilevsky.
Yes. Now, real quick, Ken, before we let you go, I would be remiss. I've had a couple people walk up to me today, and already, before I even brought up that you were coming on, they brought up 1995 and the fact that we went into that series.
I got that ring on right here.
And we went into, because it feels a lot like today, where we go into the game, we're the underdogs, not a lot of people giving us a chance. That was kind of the feeling in 1995. Did you hear any of that in 95 when you were going into the Stanley Cup final? Were you hearing anybody, like, or did that motivate you? Because you came out like gangbusters and just tore apart one of the best teams in the history of the league.
The reason everybody maybe, that's what have you done for us lately mentality, whether it's the media, whether it's the hockey world. I mean, we didn't have a particularly great season, but we were just 1 year removed from second most points in the National Hockey League behind the Rangers in the President's Trophy, losing double overtime Game 7. So we were just waiting for the playoffs. We didn't care about the regular season as long as we got in and flipped the switch. So, no, we were so confident. But we had a mixture of young guys, 5-6 year players in the National Hockey League, and then the veterans of Stevens and myself. And, we can go on down the list. And Sean Chambers and Broughton was a great addition. Riche Lemieux were fantastic. I mean, you can go on down the list, but going into the finals, they were heavily favored. We know that. The Red Wings had a terrific year, and it was a shortened season, but they were dominant, a lot of star power. So not many people gave us a chance, but in our room, we chuckled. I mean, we thought we were deeper. We thought we were better on defense. We thought we were better in goal. Yeah, they had firepower up front. So we were quietly confident. This was no surprise to us. Yeah. No, did we expect to sweep them? Of course not. I mean, but did we understand? And especially Jacques Lemaire relayed that to us. I've told the story many times. He a couple days before the series, Stanley Cup Finals, he had put both lineups side by side on the board, and in his French accent, only like Jacques can do, you would compare players and go, Dano, can you outplay that guy? And can you out? And then he kind of just wanted to make sure we weren't believing what the press was saying. We weren't, because had such veteran leadership. But that's what coaches do. It's motivating. Jacques was one of the best, and he just wanted to make sure. And we were going down the lineup going, oh boy, yeah, it's not as big a mismatch as people are saying. No. And in fact, we thought we were much better in certain areas.
It was a mismatch. It just wasn't the mismatch people
they expected. But that's hockey. That's sports. That's what makes it beautiful. And that's no disrespect to the Detroit Red Wings, because they had Hall of Famers. They were a terrific team. They dominated the regular season, but we were very confident. Didn't say much about it to the press, but we showed it in the first couple of games going to Detroit and winning that we believed in ourselves. And that's half the battle. And it's veteran leadership's a big, big part of that. You need that, and we had plenty of it.
Well, Ken, I thank you so much for spending some time with us. You got a big job today. You got any final thoughts for our fans here, for our fans at home, our fans on the interweb?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much. I can't reiterate it enough. I love the support. I mean, I've been here for the better part of 40 years with the Devils organization. Like you guys, I bleed red. I want their success too. Yeah, I have to call the games and point out mistakes and things like that. But I'm a positive guy, because I know what these young guys are going through, and you're going to make mistakes along the way. You guys are allowed to yell and complain also every once in a while. That's the passionate fans in you. That's in every fan base.
Yeah.
And I love that. But we all want the ultimate goal of them having success and becoming a sustainable playoff team. I think General Manager Tom Fitzgerald has them going in the right direction. Lindy Ruff has done a terrific job with his coaching staff of really staying positive with these guys, and you have to with the young group. I was on that side. I was a young group in the 80s where we didn't win many hockey games, and then 88 where it was the turning, we turned the corner, shall I say, made the playoffs the first time. That's how we started to believe in ourselves and believe that we could be eventually a contender, but at least a playoff team on a regular basis somewhat, and that's when it started. So it's always moments, but this year it feels different. They're a better team. This is a tough division. Let's face it. The Metropolitan Division is a beast, but you have to believe, not just say it with your mouth, believe it in your heart that you can be around in March and maybe be a playoff team. Whether that materializes yet, whether it's too soon with the young group, well, that remains to be seen. There's a long way to go. But again, the fans following you guys, I love it. I can't believe how many Devils jerseys I see are red out here in Tampa Bay, and it was great. I got to take a big group picture, but
we travel now.
I'm like you guys. I wear a Devils logo on my heart. I want these young kids to do well. I get frustrated like you at times on certain nights or plays or whatever may happen, but I believe in them. I finally see a lot of positive signs with a lot of good young players. And like I said, look no further to Utica because those guys mean a whole lot. It's your entire organization because they are going to be part of the solution of being a better team and organization down the road here. And stay with them. Believe, man. Just hang tough. We're going to have some good nights. We're going to have some tough nights, certainly still along the way. But let's hope we get a win tonight.
We need a big win. We need a big win, right?
And it's not going to be easy. But when you beat teams like Tampa, who are the defending champs, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, that's another boost to your confidence. So let's see how they perform tonight.
Ken Daneyko, 3-time Stanley Cup champ. Thank you so much for coming on.
Fans are part of our family, man. I never take that for granted, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So thank you, guys.
Show Ken some love. Let's go.
Thank you so much for joining us, Ken.
All right. Are we done? Sam just cut me off. Ken's leaving, so he's done with me. He's caught. But Vinny, how about that? How about Ken Daneyko, Mr. Devil?
Oh, I love Ken Daneyko. He's one of my favorite people to listen to talk. When he talks about the New Jersey Devils, I could just sit there with my hand on my face and listen for hours. Because he is on a much larger scale loving this team just as much as we do, and that means a lot to me. Not a lot of teams have a guy like that. We do, and I'm very happy about it. Thank you so much to him for coming on.
Yeah, and now we got a line of people taking pictures of Ken Daneyko. Ken Daneyko is just one of the good guys in hockey, and I mean, probably some of the guys that he hit pretty hard in the 90s might not say that, but we see now that Ken Daneyko is one of the good guys in hockey, and I really appreciate just the, I have to say, I'm a little humbled a lot when I do this podcast, Vinny, because there's a lot of guys who could say no to this podcast, and I've never had a guy just flat out say no who's been one of the big guys in New Jersey Devils lore. So I really appreciate these guys spending time with us and giving us their insight. I mean, that's invaluable. He comes out here and he gives us insight for what exactly – giving us the Dougie Hamilton insight for one of the best defensemen in the history of this team, giving us the insight of the young guys and what it means to really work your way into the lineup. Holt's insight. And not only is he somebody who's been a Stanley Cup champion, not only is he somebody who's done it, but he's also been watching this team grow from as close as anyone else in the world. So, giving us that insight is also very important. So this is all huge. I love having Mr. Devil here.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You said it best. Like, he's right there. He knows it. He sees it. He's at every game. He's calling the game. He's analyzing things from the perspective of a defenseman that played on a championship quality team and that won multiple championships and were one of the best teams in the regular season for many years. So seeing that and hearing it from his mouth talking to us about it, it just means so much. And like you said, it's humbling.
Yeah. So, but Vinny, we gotta pivot back. We got to pivot back to analysis. So there's something I wanted to talk to you about, Vinny. Everybody got what they wanted and everyone hates it. It looks like the third jersey leaked, and it's a black jersey, and they changed the logo. How do you change the Devils logo?
I don't know.
It's like, ow. See, this is this jersey is so bad it's making me hit my head. Do you want a black jersey? Just take this black jersey right here. Black jersey. This is how you do
I
a
need to
black
get me
jersey.
one of
Red
those.
striping,
I need.
white striping, black jersey. Don't change the logo.
Douglas Walker's here.
I don't know what that means. Oh,
He's the Sunday edition.
the Sunday guy. I'm the Wednesday guy. Watch the Wednesday show. Stay to the fan address. No, but yeah, I mean it's. If you haven't seen the black jersey, go to the Pucks and Pitchforks Twitter account. We're currently listed as Pucks and Comments. I'm probably going to get in trouble for that. But Pucks and Pitchforks, at Pitchfork Puck, I've shared the leak of the jersey. And so basically, it's a black jersey with white stripes. And it just says Jersey over the jersey. Not New Jersey, just Jersey. People here don't like it. People at home don't like it. They don't like it on Twitter, although that's always a little effy to go with the Twitter opinions. But yeah, Sam, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
What are your thoughts? Are you gonna buy it?
No. I say that now, but you never know. In a year from now,
Yeah.
when the nostalgia, the when it's no longer a fad or whatever, I don't know. It's just more money for the New Jersey Devils.
I guess.
But
I haven't with the reverse retro last year. People were like, okay.
No, that was good.
This is
That was
pretty good. It's green, it's weird, but people like weird when it's good weird. But I haven't seen. I've seen one person on my Twitter is like, no, this is fire. And then I have dozens of comments on and everybody's like, this is. And you're going to get more negative comments. You're going to get positive comments. You're going to get more retweets when it's positive. But the negative comments are far outweighing the positive comments. And they did it, Sam. They did it. They messed up the black jersey.
I don't know.
Vinny, what are your thoughts,
Vinny,
real quick?
We've been waiting for a black jersey for how many years now? 5, 6, 7 years? I mean, I personally
40.
think it's like 15
40
years overdue.
technically.
Yeah, I guess. And I can't believe they did that. They didn't even put the Devils logo on it. They just put the word jersey like it's a basketball jersey. And I just can't believe that that's the way it is. Now, I will say this. Hockey jerseys always get leaked on the internet, right? And we just roast them for days and days and days. And even when Adidas officially releases it in 3 days from now, we'll roast it for days and days and days. And then the Devils are going to play a game in them. And I'm going to see what they look like on the ice. And I'm going to go, maybe they're not as bad as I thought. And I'm hoping that that's the case. But as of right now, I think they're the ugliest things of all time. And they're almost so ugly that I will buy one just to wear.
I don't know. There's some uglier jerseys, but it's definitely the worst of the Devils jerseys. Remember the first one that Adidas did. I think it was Adidas. The white with the red and the green striping. I liked that one. I didn't hate that one. I thought it was interesting. You brought back home whites with it, so there's a lot of positives that came out of it. And then last year,
I bought one of those ones.
It was either yeah, those were nice. And then last year it was either you hated it or you loved it, but it was so popular it sold out like that. I don't think this one's going to get that kind of treatment, Sam.
I'm buying it.
If it said Taylor Ham in front, I'm buying it.
But it's a Taylor Ham. Well, okay, yeah. If you had a
They
Taylor
should have.
Ham,
If they want to make real money, just say Taylor Ham and then another jersey pork roll.
pork roll, yeah, you can pick your side.
Yeah.
You can pick your side with a Taylor Ham.
Yeah.
Make all the
So let's get back
forwards
to
have a
hockey,
jersey
though,
that
right?
says Taylor Ham, and all the defensemen have a jersey that says pork roll, and then make the goalie just say it's delicious anyway.
Sure. But back to see you guys later.
See,
But
enjoy the
back-
game, guys.
Back to the game. I am excited that I heard that Holtz is back in the lineup.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited that, we get to see him up close and we kind of get to see what, it's different. Here's the thing, is that there's a lot of sports that translate just as well on TV as it does in the arena. Hockey is not one of them. You see a different game when you go to the game. And I feel like with guys like Holtz, that's the kind of guy I want to see up close. I want to see what he's doing. What's he doing when he's on the ice and he doesn't have the puck? What is he doing to get in position? What is he doing to, and like some of that translates on TV, but all of it doesn't. It absolutely does not. So I'm curious what he's going to do once I didn't see what line he was on. That's my fault. I've been live, so I haven't been able a chance to see what line he's on. I hope he's on a top 6 line. I at least hope he's on the top 9 line. He's coming in for Jesper Boquist, so I don't know how much Lindy Ruff is willing to just kind of throw everything in a blender and then see what comes out. But I really hope he's either with Nico or Dawson, and he kind of goes from there. That's what I think.
I'm looking right now to see where he is placed in terms of the lineup. We'll see. I agree with you. If it were up to me, he would go in the top 6 because of the fact that he's a skill player. You want to develop him as a skill player. You don't want him to turn into Jesper Boquist. I don't think that's going to happen, but I would put him in the top 6. I think that's where he belongs best. As of right now, the only word is that Boquist is out and Holtz is in. No word on the lineup yet.
Okay. Listen. Surprise us. That's fine. I'm cool with this. Sometimes you like surprises, right? And if I go in there and he's next to Hischier and Zaka, I'm going to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
But there's a lot riding on this game. But you know what? Let's talk about one thing real quick. Now, since I have you here, we did the live draft show, right?
Yep.
And we were all pretty excited about Luke Hughes, right? We were all pretty excited. I was excited because, I think from what I'm gathering from the fan base and kind of getting a hold of what the fan base thinks, I think everybody was pretty excited because they felt that they had the key to keep Jack here for a long time. There's been a lot of talk of, Jack's going to want out because we're not winning. Jack's going to want this. He's going to want $10 million. And a lot of that talk has been hampered since we took Luke Hughes because he's not going to beg out of a situation where he's playing with his brother. And that seemed to be the prevailing wisdom of why they would want Luke Hughes. But I wrote about it today because Luke Hughes has 13 points in 13 games, and he has 6 goals as a defenseman for the University of Michigan, who, by the way, is ranked number 1 in the nation. They have one of the most talented college hockey teams we've seen in a long time, but number 1 in the nation. The Michigan Wolverines are ranked, and Luke Hughes has been dominant. We expected him to have a third-line role, get some experience in the NCAA, and then next year he was going to have a much bigger role. That's not what happened. He is in a huge role right now, and I'm excited to look at him. And Vinny, let me ask you first. Do you think there's a place for him like next year, or do you think we need to let him cook just because of the situation with how many defensemen we have?
I don't think you could win with that or lose with that. Or I absolutely think you could win with it. I don't think you could lose with either decision. If he plays next season, I think there'll be a spot on the team for him. Like, he would have to do good in training camp and, the rookie stuff and all that, which I fully expect because he's Luke Hughes and he's awesome. And I love seeing what we're getting from him right now. He's playing on that awesome Michigan team with Owen Power and Kent Johnson and just a loaded roster of players who are going to be in the NHL. Matt Beniers is on that team. They are just so good, and he's gaining so many valuable games and minutes with good players that probably could be playing in the NHL themselves right now. And I'm excited for Luke Hughes. In addition to the
Vinny, real quick, I got to shout out the fans here from Newfoundland. They came from Newfoundland to come root for Dawson Mercer. The hometown Dawson Mercer, the hometown boy. They came all the way from Newfoundland to root for their boy. These Dawson Mercer fans are out of this world. He's got murals. He's got fans traveling the country. I love this Dawson Mercer thing. Didn't mean to cut
It's
you off,
awesome
Vinny,
to
but
see.
They were walking by.
No,
I
it's
had
awesome
give
to
him a
see for
shout
Dawson
out.
Mercer. Because he's just been so good, and they should be proud of him where he comes from. like being the 18th overall pick, Ken Daneyko talked about it for a little bit. You don't see that too often. So going from 18th overall to being in the league as soon as he has, he deserves all the people traveling the country and the world for him. I'm very happy to have him on our team. But going back to Luke Hughes just really quick, the Devils got that security with Jack Hughes and, probably not going to lose him as a result of being a stinky team and having his brother. But they also are getting a really good player, like a really, really, really good player that could come into the NHL and follow the steps of his brother Quinn, develop at Michigan, make it to the NHL a year later, and just become one of the best defensemen in the league. One of the best defensemen in the league might be a high ceiling. We don't know if Luke will become that, but hey, the option is there.
We're on live air.
Yeah, so Dawson Mercer is definitely like somebody who's one of the top centers in the league. Not in the league, sorry, top rookies in the league. And he's, it's criminal that the NHL put out a list of possible Calder Trophy candidates, and they didn't add Dawson Mercer. It's just silly. It's fine. Let's continue with the New Jersey Devils hate. I'm okay with it. But, he's one of the most popular players already because of this connection to Newfoundland and this weird province with the in Canada. We think about Canada and we think like every single city has these gigantic followings of certain things, and then something like this happens, and it's like the best way I can describe it is if you had a top NHL player from Kentucky. All of Kentucky would be rooting for that player because there's not a big contingency of NHL there. So this whole entire province is now rooting for this team, and I try to explain this to some people sometimes, but the business side of the NHL is still prominent. The business side, when the Devils think, where can I build fans? How do I build fans? And you think that you got the best guy in a province in Canada, and you know that this guy is going to take over and turn these guys into Devils fans. And I see Devils jerseys, I see Devils jerseys, I see Devils hats. This is money that's coming in. It's just smart. This is all very smart.
I think the largest scale of it is Austin Matthews with Arizona. There are Maple Leaf jerseys all over Arizona State University right now. Those guys there love Austin Matthews. And I know they have their own NHL team, which is a little different than Newfoundland, but he has grown the game in Arizona so much. Yeah, exactly, for now. But once they leave, they'll still be Austin Matthews fans because he's one of the few people to ever come from that area. So it's basically the same thing on a much larger scale.
Yeah, and there are reports saying that Gary Bettman's holding a meeting in Quebec talking about possibly moving a team, become the Nordiques again. That's the rumors I'm hearing. But, I don't know. I don't personally think that anything's going to come of it, but those are the rumors out now. Is that Bettman's working the ground, and saying watch your laptop.
Yep.
I've heard that too, Nick. Imagine a Devils Nordiques game.
It's wild. It's funny. This is a funny thing. I just wrote an article for Puck Pros about the 50 players who who scored 40 goals and you forgot about yada yada whatever. But I was talking about Jacques Richard, who played for Quebec. He was a star in junior, and I couldn't find a picture of him because there's not a lot of Nordiques pictures. Then I tried to find a Nordiques picture. I had to find this Nordiques nation that travels around the country, goes to random NHL games. It's kind of funny, but they wear their Nordiques jerseys. I saw them at an Islanders game. It's just it's kind of funny that we see these guys who are kind of transplants now. They just have to figure out what hockey team they like. And if somebody's from their hometown, they might just jump onto that team as long as he's playing for that team.
Or if you have the same last name as a stud superstar like Zach Parisi, you suddenly are on a podcast 15 years later.
I know. Wild stuff.
Isn't that insane? Yeah. Isn't that insane? It's honestly true. I have no argument against it. That's exactly what happened.
That's fair. I don't my mom was a Devils fan a little bit. She was I kind of never followed the teams she liked because she liked the Jets, and I followed my dad to the Yankees, but I was I'm going to stick to this Devils thing. And I was big. I was a big when you're born and raised in Jersey, Sam, you were a big Jersey defender. So I was oh, screw the Nats. You're going to leave, deuces, but Jersey's always going to be my top team because it's Jersey. It's going to be Jersey. Apparently, it's going to be on my jersey that we're from Jersey. But Jersey born, Jersey bred. When I die, I'll be Jersey dead, and that's how all of our fans feel too. That's why this team might not.
Maybe it should say Jersey dead on the on the black jersey. The alternate jersey.
It would be a great Halloween costume, right? No, but
can you imagine Jack Hughes going around with a jersey like that?
It's going to be very strange. But and we're kind of getting to the end here. It's about 3:22, but we're. You got anything else, Sam?
No, I mean, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the Tampa Bay Lightning for allowing us to do our little podcast here. We tried to do this 19 months ago, but with the NHL pause, I mean, I got down here, and
we've been sitting here.
We've been talking
for
about
19 months, waiting for this day.
We've been talking about it during the pandemic. Like one day we'll go back to Tampa and finish the job. But I want to thank Justin for facilitating this, and
thanks,
Tampa Bay
Justin.
Lightning, just a first-class organization.
Yeah. No, they've been great, and they've, like I said, we talked to them 19 months ago, and they remembered when we got back to them. It was like, hey, it's like, yep, we've still got your spot. They've held this spot this whole time.
Yeah.
I just come here, Sam, and I just sit in the concrete and just be like, this is still my spot, guys. Just no, I'm just kidding.
And they give us great access point to unload our equipment.
Yeah.
People are nice. They bring out tables. They ask us.
To be fair, when you win 2 Stanley Cup championships back to back, you're going to be nice. Like, who cares what anybody else thinks or what anybody else does? We're 2-time Stanley Cup champs. We've had that feeling before, Sam. When we won in 2003, everything was gravy after that.
Yeah.
So to have, good for the Lightning. But
Yeah.
And Vinny, thanks for coming from Chicago.
Absolutely, guys. It's always my pleasure. I love doing this show with Sam every single game. And Nick, it's always a pleasure to get the opportunity to chat with you. And Ken Daneyko, thank you to him. It was great. I'm very excited for this game. I'm hoping that the Devils are able to have a bounce back. Maybe you won't win. The Lightning are good. They got Hall of Famers at every position. But you got to be better than they were against the Florida Panthers.
Any predictions, Vinny? We got to go over our game day live predictions.
Yeah, I take a lot of heat on the internet for being the positive Devils fan. I take after my friend Ken Daneyko. So I'm never going to pick them to lose on this show. We talk about that a bit. I'm going to go 3-2 Devils.
Okay.
I think they're going to come out fast and hard. Let's go 5-1 Devils. Big win. Yeah, big win. I'm live. I'm getting the big prediction. 5-1 Devils. Let's go. She likes it.
Should I be predicting the 9-0 victory over the Tampa Bay, the 3-time Stanley Cup champion, back-to-back Tampa Bay Lightning?
Yeah, let's drink together. I'm ready. Let's go.
In all seriousness, close game, 4-3.
Okay.
In regulation, Devils.
Let's go. All right. Oh, and we got thank Ken Daneyko.
Yes.
Mr. Devil.
Well, Vinny already did, but we can thank him again.
I was talking to the fans. I'm sorry. There was an ominous people coming around here staring at us. I'm very, very concerned, Sam. It's concerning. I'm concerned. But yeah, everybody enjoy the game, and we'll talk to you soon.
Oh, is that the cue?
I don't know.
I normally do the cue. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Douglas Walker, Ken Daneyko, the rest.
The Newfoundland family.
Yes. And thank you to the Tampa Police for keeping us protected. Thank you. Till next time, let's go Devils.